everyone, Krugs here from AceTrading. Today I'm here to share with you our newest indicator, Breaker AI. Okay, so I've got a bit to go through today to talk to you a bit about how the indicator works, the ins and outs of it. You can see over here some things I'd like to get through, but I thought I would start by saying that we do actually already have a breakout automated strategy at AceTrading. It's called Wave Breaker, and it does trade the breakouts of zones very similar to this. However, that bot itself, you have to actually set when you want the wave to be formed and the parameters for trading it. Okay, so it's kind of user entry. However, this one here incorporates a bit of machine learning. Okay, and what this one is doing is this indicator to start with, because we're also releasing this as an automated strategy. Okay, our bot is on its way trading the exact same setups based upon your input. Okay, so we thought we'd put out the indicator so that you can practice with the strategy, decide what type of inputs work for you, so that when you do get the automated strategy, you can hit home runs straight away. Okay, so this indicator, what it's doing is, as price action occurs, it's actually finding these kind of zones. I'm going to call them waves. Okay, it's finding these waves to trade. Okay, it's finding some consolidation and going, hey, look, there's some consolidation here. You should trade the breakout. Okay, I've actually got the trade tracker on. What trade tracker is doing is measuring the success based upon the parameters you put in. Okay, but it's a machine, and it's only going to measure success of the exact parameters you put in. So what I mean by that is it's trading breakouts. I'm going to talk to you over here, explaining to you how I can improve these 50% trades and make them more about 75, 80% win rate. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. But I just want to talk you through, I guess, to start with the settings. Okay, so what happens is, in real time, if a consolidation zone is formed, the artificial intelligence will look back through all the code through all the candles on the chart and decide if that is an area of I guess importance to us and that we want to trade it, and then it will form this little colorful box, and then you just decide whether you want to trade, I guess, the long or the short out of that box. And in this case, the short was traded. There was a bit of a breakout, there's some pullback, and then it's gone down. Okay, and this is on NQ 3 minutes. Over here you'll see I'm running it on NinjaTrader candles 9-1 for crude. It's the same thing. It's found this area of consolidation and said, hey, you should trade this, your decision. But it says if you go afterwards, as it happened, it went long. Okay, and as you go back through all the charts, so depending on how many days you load onto the charts, it's going to show you, I guess, the success rate for the parameters that you put in. Okay, it's not going to show you the success of the zone, because this zone is very successful depending on the parameters you use. Okay, so for example, if I'd set a take profit all the way up here, it probably would have been a loss. This would have shown a loss here, even though it predicted a breakout in the right direction, but depending on what you use as your take profit and your stop loss. Okay, so as you can go through, so these can be manipulated in any way you want. Okay, so the idea of the machine learning is that it's just finding these areas, these little zones or whatever. Okay, and you can see here they're not always going to be successful. It depends how you trade them. Okay, this was going to be a loss because there was confirmation outside the box and so forth, and it came back. Okay, maybe if you had your stop loss down here, you'd have seen a bit of a reversal. Okay, so I think I should probably show you the settings first, and then we'll get into, I guess, how to improve these trades. Okay, so on the screen now you can see the indicator parameters. Okay, so what you need to decide is, okay, we have a few different parameters you need to look at for the inputs. Okay, so first of all, we're looking at the AI settings. We have a bit of a frequency, a wave frequency. How often do you want to see these waves? Okay, and we have a few different terms here based upon gentle ripples, meaning that we want to see, I guess, smaller type waves compared to soft rollers, mellow waves, rising waves, all the way down to legendary waves. So these massive areas, maybe you're trading micros on. Okay, these also are in proportion to the size of the instrument you're using. Okay, if I'm trading quite a small time frame here, 3 minutes. So I wouldn't want to put too small. It's a small, but not super small. Like if I was using 15 seconds, I would probably want to look at using a smaller time frame rather than some big waves. Okay, for 3 minutes, I would say it's around that 3 to 4 kind of size. And I've set to 3 at the moment. Okay. If I was looking at 15-minute charts, I'd probably want to look at the larger waves because obviously they're larger candles, so you want to look at the larger type waves. The same with NinjaTrader. I'm looking at 9 and 1, so I'm using a smaller wave size compared to if I was using like a 34 and 2 or something bigger, I'll probably want to use a larger style wave. So that is going to, these values here will change the types of waves that will form the chart. Okay, so once we have chosen the type of waves, so you can actually just choose a range of different ways, put them on the chart, and then check to see how they perform. Okay, I can choose a color. So I'm just going to choose white. White is that color here. Minimum candles, so the minimum number of candles in a wave. Okay, so how many candles do I want in this wave in order for it to occur? So as you can see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 waves. So if I had said 15 in that wave would not have appeared, and another one would have appeared that had a minimum of 15 candles. That makes sense. The minimum number of candles until the next wave. So I put 7 here. 7's my kind of go-to number so that I don't, because usually a trade, you'll know what happens after about 7 candles. If I put like 1 here, another wave could form and another wave could form and so forth. So you want to make sure there's a bit of distance between them, okay? You can also turn off use trading guide. So you don't have to use a trading guide. I can just show you the waves and you can trade them. But I often like to put this on as a bit of a guide for when I'm trading manually because I want to know what's a 1-to-1 trade, what's a 2-to-1 trade, okay? So I've got here 2 options. My take profit, I can set it, now these are percentages of the wave, and I'm calling this the wave. So if I was to choose 0.5, my take profit would go half this distance. So that there, from there to there is 1 full wave. So that's why I had set to wave. Okay, so if I was to choose 0.5, the P standing for point, a decimal value, it would go to here. If I was to choose 5, it would choose 5 times this distance. That's what distance is 1. It would go all the way down, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down here. Okay, so depending on if you're using like micros and smaller time frames, things like that, you want to change this. But my go-to is 1-to-1 trades. I'm looking for a higher success rate, so anything above like 60%, and a 1-to-1 means that over time I'm going to ensure that I'm going to be profitable. Okay, and you can obviously change the colors. What you're actually changing here is you're changing the color of the long and the short. So I've got this set to deep blue sky, so that's that blue line here, and that's that color there. Okay, and the dots. So everything on the long side is going to be that color, and everything on the short side is going to be that color. The only color that's not your choice is the stop loss. Okay, because I've set a stop loss here at the wave. That means that if I was to enter here, the stop loss would be set here at the wave, and that is why I've got it as a red dotted line. And the same with this one. Okay, so you can change those yourself, and it will impact what happens with this tracker down here. Okay, it's always set to on bar closed. You can label it anything you want, and everything else is pretty much standard. Okay, so now that you've seen how the indicator goes onto the charts, you can actually see here I've got trades on the charts. So I'm going to just zoom out and you can kind of see all these ones here. Let's look at, if you go back, you can just see every now and then it'll find an area of trade. Like this is a perfect one. It found an area of consolidation and said you should trade this, got into the trade, took a nice long. Okay, an area of consolidation, took short, and then went long in the end. Okay, it ended up going short, but you had to, I guess, withstand a bit of drawdown if you wanted to do that. Depending on your level of your account level and how much drawdown you would like and things like that, you can just set. You can set half the wave. You can set whatever you want. Okay, it's manually traded. You can see here, this would have been a nice one to just continue up all day. Okay, it was heading up long. There's a bit of consolidation. I probably would have just long put 2 contracts on this, taken 1 contract off here and let the other one run. Okay, and so forth. Even this one, the pullback, it probably wouldn't have hit my stop loss if I'd moved it to break even. And then look at that drop. I would have just brought it nice and in. Okay, so there's a few. Let's talk a bit about, let's talk about the buy settings. Let's talk a bit about the trade guide. So the trade guide is just going to track based upon these settings here. So if you were to change those settings, it will change those values there. How do we improve that win percentage? How do we improve it? Okay, so the way we want to improve it is we would like to do a couple of things. Okay, the first thing you can do is wait for candle confirmation. Okay, so at the moment it trades the immediate breakout. Okay, so what I often look for when I'm trading this, because this can happen quite quick. Obviously, this is a 3-minute chart. So once this candle forms here and closes, and this one opens, this one here this wave would form straight away. Okay, and then I have a matter of, I'm not sure, seconds, minutes to decide, do I want to trade the breakout and then quickly put my order on and so forth, like you saw in the intro video. And you saw that I missed an opportunity really quickly, so I did it with a limit order and was able to get in a bit later. Okay. My go-to at the moment is to wait for a bit of a confirmation candle. So maybe if it closes outside here rather than the spike out, okay, and not too far out. So if the candle had blown out all out here, I wouldn't be trading it. I would be waiting for a pullback. And that is my second thing. I often like to trade the pullbacks. And what you'll find is if you look back at some of these, they don't always have a pullback, okay? They don't always, but often they have some type of entrance which kind of leaves and then pulls back. So in this case here, there was no, if I had to trade the confirmation, I wouldn't have got into that trade there, would have left it, and it came back here. I could have then entered long and got into it and got a nice long here. Vice versa, if I traded the short, that would have been a nice short there. So we could have got 2 wins off that, okay? Also to say that just because the waveform's here doesn't mean you necessarily you can't trade it later on, because you can kind of see price action continues along here, and I could have traded a long and got a nice long out of that, okay? Even though I got a short, I got a nice long out of it. So that's improving that these values down here. So straight away I would have 20 wins out of 36 and so forth, okay? If I keep going back and look at some here, you can see confirmation candle out. There was no confirmation, so this one had a confirmation candle out. I could have gone along and got straight into it, okay? So that would have taken up 21. So automatically I'm increasing the win rate of the trade tracker. Okay, there's a nice trade here. Here's the perfect example of the, I guess, retesting. So it broke out straight away. If this is happening to me in live, I probably wouldn't get into the straight away. Maybe on the second candle I could have got in, but sometimes I'm looking for, depending on the time of day, so this is during the night time, the evening session, it's quite slow. I'll often wait for a retest. Okay, so it's gone back into my zone, and as it leaves the second time, I'm probably going to try get into the trade right on the break. Okay, and I've got into there, and then I can even have a tight stop loss. Okay, and then I can trade it all the way up to here. So I could have a 2-to-1 trade if I had done that. Okay, I could have even followed the short, okay, not taken the spike out, waited for that confirmation, gone back into the wave, and it's come back down again, then take the trade and would have got a nice second. So straight away, I'm improving my odds. Okay, I've got up to 22 now out of 36. So I'm slowly improving those odds. And it's going to be the same for my NinjaTrader candles. Okay, there's some really nice trades here, but you can see that's a bit of a spike out that way. This one came out perfectly, retested, gone down. What you'll notice more with the NinjaTrader candles, they're easy to identify the retests. And I would always trade the retest on NinjaTrader candles. Okay, look at this, popped out once, again, gone in. The other thing to do is not have too much, if you see a massive kind of wave here, that's obviously, what's that, 14 up to 52, that's quite a big wave. Maybe you're not looking to trade the full wave. So if I'd only traded half of that wave, I would have had a nice easy win. Okay, or even a 10th, I could scalp it if I wanted to. Look, if I traded this, I was successful on the breakout, but look at that. It came back in, retested that wave and popped up. So this is a powerful tool. The artificial intelligence involved in it is telling me the really key areas to trade, and you should be listening to it. Okay, it's there for a reason. Look at this, left, retest. Could have even got a nice short out of that. This one here, if I wait for a bit of a confirmation candle out, it retested, came in, and it left the second time. So even if I just leave and wait for the second entry every single time, I'm probably going to have a higher win rate than at the moment it's sitting on a 50%, and this one looks a bit more, about 60 or whatever it may be. Okay. Again, left, came back in, retest, left, came back in, retest, left. Okay, these are all successful trades. Okay, this one here, depending on what I was looking for, again, maybe I'm not looking for the full wave, I'm looking for half. Okay, maybe even having the half stop loss. So as it left, my stop loss is here, my take profits up here. We've got a nice 1-to-1 trade, even on just 0.5, and you can do that in the settings. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we're moving on. The trailing stop loss is another way that you can have an excellent, I guess, an excellent day with your trades. You could trail this all the way up and keep it going. Okay, that's going to improve I guess it's not going to improve the overall results. You're still going to have a successful trade, but you guess you can take more profit. Okay, because some of these just absolutely go. Okay, like this one, I got out here, but look at this. I could have potentially traded that all up to here, kept going. So if I was to put my stop loss at key pivot points, I would have, once it hit my take profit here, I could have moved up behind this candle here. There's a fair bit of volume here. I'll move my stop loss maybe a bit above it. It's then pushed up. Okay, I could have moved my stop loss to here, moved up to here. If it's gone all up here, I could have moved it to here. Probably would have got stopped that up here. So we would have got pretty much nearly a 2.5 to my 1 risk. Okay, so that's a great way to improve. Price action is another thing. You can often draw some nice support and resistant lines. Okay, you can see a double bottom here. You can see like there is a bit of a channel or whatever it may be. Your price action and your larger support and resistance is going to play a key, I guess, role in improving those results. If you're just going to trade breakouts and you're just going to catch some like 1 or 2 points, that's totally different. But if you're looking for the larger movements, I would definitely look at the larger support and resistance. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk a bit about was the last three, using our other indicators as confluence for the trades. Okay, Aquaflow, A signal are perfect to catch those larger moves. They're probably not going to help so much with the shorter scalps. So if you're only looking for a small scalp, they're probably not going to help too much with that because price can move down and backwards and forwards even with those indicators on. However, you're looking for maybe a nice long here, and you think, oh, I don't want to take the short side, I'm going to turn on Aquaflow or a signal. And if that's a kind of a longish signal, I probably wouldn't be taking shorts unless those indicators said a short is about to happen or it's coming up. Then I would probably take the short and vice versa. Okay, so they are great indicators for us to use. Let me just show you now what those indicators look like on the chart. Okay, so you can see I've loaded up both our Aquaflow, okay, on one chart, and I've got the A signal on the other. Look, it works vice versa. You could put both on the same chart. You could use any order you wish. This is just an example video to show you how it would look. Okay, and you can kind of see here that as I said, look, price came down here. We were in a nice short position, a nice short trend, and then all of a sudden it crossed our Aquaflow line. Okay, and you start to see a bit of yellow here. That usually means that we're now turning into a bit of a long kind of direction. Okay, I often look for that retest. Okay, we have a member, Aldo, that loves looking for the bounce off the Aquaflow, and you can kind of see it did that. So this would be a perfect trade for him. Okay, he's gone up, it's come back down, it started to retest that line. It hasn't broken through. You can see there's a lot of spikes down here. So having this indicator on helps me decide I want to go long. I don't want to go short. A lot of spikes down here, unless it just bounces through, but it didn't. Okay, it's come off this nicely. Would have gone to a nice long, and I could have stayed in this long without even any trail, nothing, until I started to see a yellow. Okay, it starts to come down here to a yellow. It's either going to retest it. Okay, in this case, it did retest it, but there was a bit of kind of cut through, so I probably would have got out of the trade up here. Okay, if it's not always going to work, as I say, okay, this looks like a bit of a long. Looks like a long. That one actually. So the AI said it's a short, and it took a short nicely. So you don't always have to listen to it. Okay. So listen to the other indicators. It's all about deciding what is a confluence indicator. Okay, like this one here, it's saying we're in a blue kind of long trend. It's saying you should go long. However, my stop loss, it bounced straight off that. So if I was going to have my stop loss, maybe I wouldn't have my stop loss at the bottom of the wave. Maybe I should have had it underneath the Aquaflow, so the show it could have easily bounced off and gone up and got my nice win. Okay, so it's going to improve these results and overall your trading in general. Okay, and you can kind of see here we have a signal on. Okay, so now we're looking for what it looks like over here. I've turned the signals off because they were a bit confusing with the strategy. Again, I still would test the retests, broke out, come back in, okay? And as long as it stayed red, okay, I would stay into the trade. There's a nice green here, came up. You can zoom in and do a crowd. There's a sell there, came in a bit late, so forth, okay? Nice long here. Wait for a bit more confirmation, so maybe wait for 3 candle closes out on NinjaRenko. NinjaRenko is a bit obviously different to candle closes out. Candle closes out on candle bars means that a number of ticks has moved above the line, so it's a confirmation to trade. If I'm trading confirmations out of NinjaRenko, I'm looking for 3 to 5 candles to close out. Okay, look, because we're using 1 tick thresholds, so the threshold is 1 tick every one. I want to look for 3 to 5 and then try to push for up here. So that wouldn't have got into that trade. I wouldn't have got into that trade. Would have waited 3 to 5 and then got into it and maybe just taken a piece of that. Okay, and so forth. Again, with this, I probably would have waited for 3 to 5. Okay, 1, 2 didn't really close out, so I'm not taking that. And then waiting for 3 to 5 down here, I would have taken a nice short. Okay, it obviously definitely improves. 3 to 5, I could even trail this nice and tightly. Came all the way down here, started to turn green. I probably could have got out break even, or I could have taken my profit all the way down here. Okay, plenty of ways to improve. I hope that does answer a lot of your questions about this indicator. It's a fantastic indicator. So The automated strategy is coming, but I want members to enjoy the indicator first, figure out what works for them, so that when we do bring the strategy out, you know what kind of settings would work for you. We'll have the same kind of setup, the same look. If you're interested in becoming a member, please look at our information down the bottom there. You'll see that we have a range of strategies that you can use. Please like our YouTube channel, follow us, subscribe. It all helps the cause. It grows our community. And I guess that's the last thing I wanted to say. Our Discord community is full of fantastic traders that support each other. I'm always in there. Vergs is always in there. And we'll love to hear your thoughts about this indicator and give it a go. All right. But my name's Krugs. Thanks for sticking with me through this video, and I'll catch you in Discord.